There's been a lot of changes to Paragons in recent updates, both in terms of regular buffs and nerfs, but also synergies and price changes and whatnot, and most recently we got ourselves a brand new Paragon, and there were also some changes to the peers of Paragons in general, so in this video we're gonna take a look at all of that. And we're gonna do so by getting every single Paragon to degree 100 and see how far they can all last together. We're doing this on easy mode, so the prices will be cheaper than usual, but we're still gonna need a lot of cash for this, so I need to get started on the farming as soon as I can so we can get all the Paragons as fast as possible. Now we want to pay a little bit of attention to which Paragons we get first. We don't want to get something like the Navarch or the Ace Paragon very early, because that's gonna steal a whole lot of pops from everything else that we're trying to get pops on, so might start off with something like an Engi, perhaps. Also want to go ahead and place a bunch of pools down because I need the tiers for the sacrifices for the boat eventually, but it's also good to do that now because they will generate a whole bunch of income, and that's going to count to the Paragon degree as well. Something like this should probably do the trick. I think I'm going to get a support TSG right here, which is going to buff all of my towers right here that I'm going to try to get pops on. And I'm also beginning the process of placing down a shit ton of Paragon totems. Creating the final setup for all this is gonna take a good while, so there's probably gonna be a lot of skipping ahead in this video. Okay, now I think we finally have all the pops we need to get the first degree 100 right here. Nice. 1 down, 8 to go. I went ahead and got myself all of the debuffs right here, because that will really help these guys out get all of their pops very quickly. Now let's go ahead and check if I have enough for the second Paragon. Indeed, nice. Now let's go ahead and go for the Boomerang Paragon next. Okay, now it's time for the Boomerang. There we go. 3 Paragons down. Now let's go ahead and place down some darts for the apex. In the beginning, the limiting factor of how fast you can get your Paragons is really how fast you can get your pops, which takes a while. But around like 150 or so, there's just so many pops per round that the limiting factor is now how fast you can get your totems down. And now we have all the totems we need for the apex. There we go. While I'm waiting for all of my Paragon totems, let's talk a bit about some of the changes that happened in the most recent update. First of all, the general change that was made to Paragons is that they all got nerfed peers. They still get 1% extra peers for every degree, but they also used to get +1 peers for every degree, so a flat +1, but now they only get 0.01 per degree, so instead of maxing out at another 100% plus 100, it maxes out at another plus 100% and plus 10 peers. Now I would bet that this won't really ever bother you. If I didn't tell you, you might not even have noticed, because I mean you still got the plus 100%, so I'm not sure. They made this change pretty much for the Tack Paragon's sake, so in any other case you won't really notice. Another thing they changed was the amount of extra cash you can make from having the Navarch Paragon by increasing the amount of merchantmen that are benefiting from this, but they also reduced the actual benefits by a bit, but overall it is definitely a buff. But perhaps more interestingly, for the Paragon we're working on right now, the Wizard Paragon, they reduced the mana that the Morph ability drains, which is an ability that is incredibly strong. A large amount of its DPS does come from that ability, so this is a pretty significant buff, I would say. So the mana drain went from 5,000 down to 4,000, so I guess that would be another 20% longer that the ability would last from now on, so that's very nice. Let's go ahead and put down our 20th totem and get the Wizard Paragon as well. So now we have, what, 4 more? And now it's finally time for the Ninja, and after this we only have the Sub, Ace and Boat Gone left. Man, rounds are really starting to take a while now, but now we're gonna go ahead and get the Boat Paragon that will clear up all of the pools so we can place down the sacrifices for the Sub. And now it's time for the sub paragon, and now we only have the ace paragon left. Might as well go ahead and clean up a bit here because I have more than enough cash anyway. Okay, finally we're almost there. I just need to finish this one round and then I have all the totems for the final paragon. This has taken almost 3 hours, so it takes a while to get all the paragons, man. Okay, there we go. Time to finish the setup. All 9 paragons, max degree. Now let's go ahead and get rid of Geraldo and let's set up some tech bots because, well, I'm probably not gonna need to micro anything for a couple of rounds. So we're gonna have this one and this one on strong. Tech bot them up. Tech bot the Navark, but we're gonna use set ambush so that he doesn't use it at the start of a round to hook in like set OMG or something. Also the ace, which we're gonna target something like this. The Engi I'm not gonna tech bot because I don't want him to replace these on his own. They are in pretty sweet positions, so I'll do that on my own later whenever I need to micro. Oh, and I guess I should get one for the sub as well. Oh wow, we really saved up a lot of free dart monkeys, haven't we? Now, how long do you think this will last? Probably not too long because we're about to reach around 300, so the scaling is gonna probably ramp up around there. So my bet would be, I don't know, 350? Let me turn the effects all the way up just for this one round to admire all the chaos. Oh wow. Yeah, this is gonna tank my bitrate. Yeah, there's no way I can have it on like this. Sorry. So let's see how far they are making it right now. A fortified bad makes it to around that bend. Okay, yeah, I think 350 sounds like a pretty good prediction, no? There are so many good synergies in Paragons now, which is awesome to see. Let's line them all up. I mean, the most recent one is the Ninja Paragon and the Tack Paragon, since the Ninja gives camo detection to the Tack Paragon. Next we have the Boat Paragon, which buffs the Ace and also the Sub Paragon. The Boomerang Paragon buffs all primary towers, so not just Paragons, but it does buff the Apex and the Tack Paragon as well. And of course you have the synergy between the Sub Paragon and all the other Paragons that has abilities, because submerging the Sub Paragon reduces ability cooldowns for all Paragons. And I think that's all of them. What we might see next is something with the Engi Paragon. I mean, a lot of people have been wanting the Engi Paragon to have some sort of overclock feature, not just for itself, but for other Paragons. Of course, you would have to limit that quite a bit, because that would be incredibly strong, but some form of overclock mechanism for other Paragons has been talked about a lot. So maybe we'll see that at some point. That would be cool. So now we have 9 Paragons. How many do we have left? We have the Bomb, Ice, Glue, Sniper, Heli. What's this guy called? The Mordor, the Dartling, Super, unless you count the Vengeful Temple as a Paragon. Alk, Druid, Mermonkey, Farm, Spike Factory, Village, and Beast Handler. So what's that, 15? Can you imagine the point when we have all of the Paragons? That's gonna be insane. There's a few Paragons that I'm really looking forward to. That's gonna be like insane. Sure, there are some cool ones like the Farm, the Village. That's gonna be really interesting. But some Paragons that's gonna be absolutely bonkers against like bosses and probably free play too is gonna be like the Bomb, the Dartling, what else? Bomb, Dartling, Spike Factory, and then eventually, if we do get it at the end, the Super. Those Paragons are gonna be super duper expensive and probably ridiculously strong. Man, I'm looking forward to it already. New Paragon releases is probably my favorite kind of update out of everything, even more so than a new boss, in my opinion. The only update that was actually better than a Paragon update, in my opinion, was the addition of boss challenge, so you could play bosses whenever you want. Nothing can beat that, in my opinion. But other than that, new Paragons is just cream of the crop. I just realized that I'm playing in an actual game, not challenge editor, so if I die and restart, that means my abilities are gonna be all off cooldown, so that's kind of cheating, isn't it? Yeah, whatever, I'm probably not even gonna bother to micro anyway. Just let it run. That's another thing that needs to be thrown into an update sometime. Just increase the cap on the challenge editor to like around 1,000 or something. Looks like fortified bads are making their way about halfway through the track now, so yeah, still pretty hopeful, about 350. My prediction may end up being right on point, because we're at 341 and they're making it to about here, so 350 might be on the dot. Oh, I am really close to dying here. I am probably gonna die to one of those bads, aren't I? Oh yeah, watch the DDTs here. Oh, I'm not even gonna pop it. Oh, I am. Yep. That's that. 356 rounds for all Paragons degree 100. Pretty close to my prediction. Now let's take a look at some pop counts. I'll just throw them all up on screen in a list so they are more easy to get an overview of for you. So that's all of the numbers right there. Keep in mind that I did not place all of the Paragons at the same time, and also I didn't use the Engi Sentry Explosions, so maybe would have overtaken the Boomer Paragon if I did so. Anyway, lots of cool stuff happening with the Paragons. Let me know your thoughts on the recent changes in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.